It's a picture which shocks. Rabbi Joseph Newman, who was severely injured in a stabbing attack in Monsey on December the 28th. 4 others were injured as well. Grafton Thomas, the attacker, tried to flee, but was arrested by the New York police only a few hours later. 2 weeks after the attack, I-24 News is in New York. We immediately feel that public authorities take this wave of anti-Semitism very seriously.
The governor and others have labeled the attack in Monsey as an act of domestic terrorism, and I think it has to be treated as such. And we have to not only deal with the actual attack, but we have to deal with the attitudes that make people think it's acceptable to harass and stigmatize Jews.
An American cancer that is...
On the day of our visit, we met with State Governor Andrew Cuomo.
And it's a cancer.
He praised the Hasidic Jews who fought the assailant, unarmed, and eventually made him flee the area.
Thank you.
Most importantly, Cuomo announced that $676,000 will be unblocked for the implementation of the license plate recognition system and security cameras. We asked if he had a security strategy, like the one in Israel.
Israel has probably the most advanced security on the globe, right? It's amazing what Israel has done. But that is grown over decades of having been targeted and having neighbors to the left and to the right. So you feel surrounded, and you had to develop that security. This is a relatively new experience in this country. I can't think in my lifetime of anything this ugly.
We head to the Ramapo police station. Sergeant Christopher Youngman invites us to come along on his daily patrol. He says alert levels are extremely high these days.
2020, it's a reality of the world we live in. So we train and we prepare for this all the time, because it could happen at a synagogue, it could happen in a public school, it could happen in an office building. You don't know. So we're always ready for, if it should happen, we train to be prepared. What do we need to do?
So the people organized. Some Hasidic Jews called on private security companies for protection. Others, like those you see here, took action and bought assault rifles. These young people did their military service in Israel and believe there is no other choice. They must be able to defend themselves, even with guns.
We're surprised that we have to have people walking around in the streets with firearms to protect our community. This is something that we should never be familiar with and never be comfortable with anywhere in the world.
But deploying one police officer per synagogue is impossible. There are hundreds of synagogues in the city.
Once they see that there's a person there with a gun who's going to confront them, that's the end of it. And that's why it's so important for us to get in there immediately, rather than waiting for, 4 or 10 officers. We go in.
So what has been changed before the attack and after?
I think from our standpoint, we've put a couple extra cars out, just in an attempt to be more visible to our Jewish community, but also to anyone who would try to victimize them. Let everyone know that we are here.
Still, it is crucial to take action in a few seconds in case of an attack. The sergeant thinks the Jewish community must be prepared, not worried. However, some members of the community believe they need to know how to defend themselves by their own means.
Magazine, change magazine, let's go, finish the shot, finish, you have a jam, go.
How to conduct yourself in real life, when to draw the weapon, when not to draw the weapon. So if we're talking about Jews in Monsey, it's something that they need to pick up as well, because these are critical skills in order to survive any scenario, right? You have to have a plan.
This was filmed a few weeks ago. A band of young African Americans physically attack a Lubavitch Orthodox teenager in plain sight in Brooklyn. This kind of aggression has become a daily reality in the Crown Heights neighborhood. That's why the New York police significantly beefed up their presence here. On the day of filming, 8 police agents were deployed in front of this yeshiva. Some of them even had assault rifles. For this Lubavitch Jew, this climate of insecurity is unbearable.
It's time for the community to start getting united. Awareness by, when you're walking the streets, how to react, how to behave. Not just being with your head down and staying low, but to show that you have that you're not afraid.
With this aim in mind, Krav Maga lessons are organized, free of charge. Pepper spray was distributed.
Our main purpose is make Crown Heights safe again, is to bring back the 1964 Maccabees of Crown Heights, which had started back in 1964 during the time when the neighborhood became very unsafe, and the whole community got together and they were doing patrols together, they were doing escorts, helping people get home when they felt unsafe, helping people walk from shul to shul or wherever. No matter if you were black, Jewish, whatever race, nationality, or religion you were, they were all together united.
Lubavitch Jews are not the only ones starting to get organized. These men are called the Guardian Angels. Meet the leader and founder of this militia, Curtis Sliwa. It's been more than 40 years since 1979 that he's roamed the streets of Brooklyn to fight crime and violence.
Thank you. Thank you for all the work. I listen to you on the radio.
Thanks for listening. Sure. Appreciate it.
The Crown Heights riots happened in 1991, a turning point. Curtis says he protects first the Jews of the neighborhood.
There was riots here that the Lubavitch, the Jews were being attacked. So we brought our Guardian Angel truck here. We didn't leave for the next 3 months. We were here round the clock to protect the Jews here who are under attack. Well, now, because this mayor, Bill de Blasio, is so disconnected, there have been attacks against the Lubavitch here, against ultra-Orthodox in Williamsburg, Borough Park, Flatbush, Midwood, Jersey City, Muncie. We could go on and on and on for months, and nothing has been done. You're a Jew, you're being attacked. What am I supposed to do? Watch it? Take out my phone, call 911, film it? No, we physically intervene.
This person has no doubts at all. Some comments reposted on social media are incitement to hatred.
Let's talk about the black Hebrew Israelites. Let's talk about the Muslim guy that's out in, his name is Tony Muhammad, and his wife. After that video came out, they made a video about 3 weeks ago, as soon as right before Hanukkah. They said a lot of bad stuff about Jews, a lot of anti-Semitic slurs, and plus they claimed that the Jews were the reason for slavery down in the Mississippi, and that the NBA is also slavery right now, today's common day, which is horrible. And after that video came out, a lot more attacks started pushing on.
Louis Farrakhan's Facebook page was suspended several times. A man hears our conversation and wants to talk to us. He's outraged.
What do you think of what's happening now?
I don't like it. I don't like it because it don't make no sense. I don't like it. It's ridiculous what they're doing. It don't make no sense. Because hatred is a disease. Nobody don't like that.
Back to the streets of Brooklyn. As we progress in these narrow and dark paths, we feel we are entering a cutthroat area.
And young teenagers will hang around here and jump on top of Jews, rob them, beat them, or steal their hats. It's like a trophy, especially this area we're going through now and on the corner of Albany and Crown. It used to be a synagogue that was open that is now closed. People won't go there because there have been attacks. So that's why we always make sure that we hit this area. 1991, when the bottles and the bricks were being thrown and the punches were flying and people were pulling out knives and we had to battle physically people who were attacking the Jews. Most of the assailants, most of the predators were black and Hispanic. Most of the Guardian Angels were black and Hispanic. I had to say, hey, this is not a gray area. Who's right, who's wrong? There's one group, the predators, these young teenagers who happen to be black and Hispanic, and they're the Jews who are being victimized. We've seen it with our own eyes.